Hello and welcome back to our SIGNL4 integration series. Today we're going to go over the ability to integrate SIGNL4 and Microsoft Sentinel and how we do that. As we can see here, I have loaded up my SIGNL4 web portal and my SIGNL4 mobile app, but I also have loaded up here my Microsoft Sentinel subscription inside of Azure. So we're going to go ahead and start here inside of SIGNL4. And to set up this integration, the first thing we need to do is we need to go to Integrations. We need to go to our gallery, and then we need to find the Sentinel integration. And here we see we have our Microsoft Sentinel integration. So if I click on this to expand it out, you'll notice that right off the bat, the first couple of pieces of information we need is a subscription tenant client IDs, all from Azure, as well as a client secret, again from Azure. And you can receive that through your Azure subscription manager on your side, or what we do here is inside of our integration guide, we actually give you a PowerShell script that will load up and access your Azure subscription, assuming you have the rights, and it'll pull down and give you these four pieces of information. So it will give you the subscription ID, the tenant ID, the client ID, and the secret, all to input into this information. And you just need to make sure you have the rights to run that through your Azure subscription. If you do not, then you can have your subscription manager run it and they can give you the information as well. Once you input those four pieces of information there, next up we come into the rest of the connector. And for the rest of the connector, what we have here is augment incidents with the search results. This is going to take your Sentinel incidents and augment them with the search results from the related security alerts in the configured log analytics workspace. One key note on this is this will increase the time for ticket creation from Sentinel to SIGNL4 as we have to wait for that Azure search to take place inside of your subscription. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off right now, but just as a note, the extra increased time is fairly small, but it is there. So you just want to keep note of that in your mind as you set this up. The next option here is we actually have the ability to specify a log analytics workspace that we want our Sentinel logs and alerts to come from, meaning we will only receive incidents from the entered analytics workspace here. So if we want to narrow down what logs are going to be sent to this connector, here's where we can do that. So we would set up a log analytics workspace inside of your Sentinel Azure subscription, and we would just input that log analytics workspace here. And in addition to that, if we do input a log analytics workspace, we need to also input the corresponding resource group here in the next line. Now, the next thing we have down here is read security events from. So what we have here is we have a drop down where we're either going to receive these events from the Sentinel API or the Graph Security API. And you could choose either or option here. Just know whichever option you choose is where you're going to receive the events from. So for our purposes today, we're going to go ahead and select the Sentinel API and leave it at that. What we have next is the trigger signals from Sentinel for these incident statuses. And what we have by default is the new status is chosen. However, we can also choose the active status if we want to trigger new SIGNL4 alerts on both new and active Sentinel incidents. And we're going to go ahead and select them both just so they have them both there. The next option here is we can actually filter the severity from any one of these four options here. So we have informational, low, medium, or high, and by default, all four are selected, but I can uncheck and check any options as we see fit if I want to receive just certain severity events, or if I want to receive them all, we would just uncheck or check the ones we wish to see. Next up here is when we close a SIGNL4 alert created from a Sentinel incident, we can actually send this closure back to Sentinel, and we'll set when we close the incident inside of Sentinel, we need a classification reason to input there. So we can actually choose any one of our 5 options here, and this is the status we'll set inside of Sentinel for these closed events. The next option here is classification comments. And what happens here is if you input this will actually add a classification comment when sending the classification reason as well. So if the classification reason is set to undetermined, we will add the note here, whatever you add in this text box here, as in addition to just setting the classification reason, we add the comment there as well. And then the final option here is the tag for Sentinel incidents after signal creation. So if I enter in a, let's say, SIGNL4 tag here, when a Microsoft Sentinel incident is picked up by SIGNL4 and an alert is created, we will add this tag to the incident inside of Sentinel. So at a glance, you'll know that, hey, SIGNL4 has already picked this up and it's ready to go. The next option I have down here is the team I want to send the events to. And for my purposes today, I'm going to go ahead and choose the IT Ops team. It's the team I'm already on duty for, so that's where we just want to send the events to. Now, in my particular case, I already have one installed, so I'm just going to go ahead and load that up. And we'll see here, I have set all of my information as well as the log analytics workspace with the corresponding resource group. I'm going to the Sentinel API. I'm triggering on new and active. And I'm going on all severities here. My classification reason, I'm setting to true, positive, suspicious activity. And I input a classification comment as well as a tag inside of this incident as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now if I go back to my Sentinel and I create a new incident, and I'm just going to put a title in here. I'm going to leave the description blank. We're going to leave it at medium, and the status is going to be new. And we'll see here that we don't have any tags added. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. And then after a little bit of time here, we'll actually see this event hit SIGNL4 and an alert will be created here. So now we see here we have the new incident from Sentinel, created a new alert inside of SIGNL4. And if I go ahead and open up my alerts, we'll see that we have the 7860 incident for multiple failed logins. It went to the IT Ops team. Now, if I go back into the events here, we'll see that the SIGNL4 tag is here inside the incident, meaning it was picked up by SIGNL4 and an alert was created. So that's when the tag gets added. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge the alert inside of SIGNL4. And then I'm going to go ahead and close the alert inside of SIGNL4 in addition. And we'll actually see this status and owner go from unassigned and new to my name, Robert, and the status will be closed. Now I do need to do a little refresh here, and we'll see the open incidents numbers changed here. And if I open the incident back up again, we'll actually see owner and status have both changed for that event. And then when we open up the event, we'll actually see that the owner has changed to Robert. The status has changed to closed. We see the fixed and closed reason for closing here. We got the true, positive, suspicious activity, as well as the fixed and closed note added to it. In addition to that, we still see the tag down there. And this is how we can use the SIGNL4 connector to receive events from your Microsoft Sentinel subscription when an incident is created, and how SIGNL4 can talk back to Sentinel, closing the ticket automatically when the SIGNL4 alert is closed as well. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.